Alright, guys, it's nice to be here once again. And yesterday we learned about agile methodology. So before I go into my presentation proper, I would like to know what you learned from yesterday's session. What can you say about the agile methodology? What did you learn? Anything at all?
Yes, Christina, I gone through with the differentiation between waterfall model and agile model. Compared to waterfall model, agile model is very flexible and we can learn easily, and the requirement changes can be done at any stage in the agile model compared to water model. And designing testing is done in each and every step, and we can implement each and every models in any step in the agile model. It will be helpful, Christina.
Okay, Jivan, thank you so much for that response. Akila, please can I hear from you? What did you learn yesterday? What do you know about agile methodology?
Yes, Christina. In Agile, we can have individual and interaction over the process and tools. And we can also, it is used for increased flexibility and adaptability to change. And it is improved communication. And it is faster in the market as well. And it has delivery of value more. And it is also used for improving team motivation, and we can achieve the task easier.
Okay, thank you so much. Um, Shuaib,
Yeah, Christian. So, what I have learned in the agile and waterfall model, both are the methodologies actually. So, way of approaching towards our task actually. So, waterfall has its own drawbacks, and where it comes to an agile methodology, so it has its own advantages. We'll be concluding the task in the form of sprints, and we'll be releasing and we'll be able to achieve our task easily and accordingly. That's how I have learned. Need to
okay.
explore more.
Okay, thank you so much for that response. So we are going to proceed. Like I mentioned yesterday, we have different types of um, framework for agile methodology. We have the Scrum, we have Kanban, we have Lean, we have extreme programming, and the list is endless, right? But we are going to be focusing on a few of them: Scrum, Kanban, and maybe extreme programming. So for today, we are learning about Scrum. So Scrum is an agile framework. And remember yesterday we said agile is a project management methodology, right? That is adaptive, and it is an iterative incremental approach to software development. Okay, so and I mentioned that it is not only software development industry that use agile. Agile is used in a lot of other industry. All right, so we are going to proceed now. So today we are introducing you to Scrum Framework, Scrum roles and responsibilities. Okay, so today we'll dive into the core principles and structures of this popular agile framework. I'm sure you must have heard of Scrum somewhere, somehow. So we'll also explore the crucial roles that drive the Scrum process and their specific responsibilities. Okay, so by understanding these elements, you will gain a solid foundation for applying Scrum to your project and achieving greater agility, efficiency, and value delivery. So it's going to be a very interesting session today. Please endeavor to take notes and please pay attention, because I could stop in between to ask questions just to be sure you are still following. And by tomorrow, before we proceed, I'll still ask you a question on what you've learned. All right. So what is Scrum? This popular agile framework, what is it all about? So Scrum is an iterative and incremental agile framework for delivering projects. So it emphasizes collaboration, transparency, and continuous improvement. So projects are broken down into short cycles called sprints with frequent feedback and adaptation. So I'm still going to talk to us more about what a sprint is. So in Scrum, we work in a short cycle of in a short time frame. We call it sprints. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 4 weeks, but not more than 1 month maximum for a sprint. So we can have several sprints to complete a project. All right, so imagine Scrum as a continuous learning and improvement cycle. Each sprint allows you to deliver working software, gather feedback, and refine your approach for the next sprint. If you remember yesterday, I said that the difference between waterfall methodology and the agile methodology is because is that for agile you can get feedback early and make adjustments on your products and produce value for the customer, unlike waterfall that you have to wait till the end of the project before you now have an official launch, and then if there's an error it becomes expensive to fix the error. So Scrum, remember, is an agile framework. So we say that each sprint, I said sprint is usually no more than 1 month. It could be lesser than 1 month, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, depending on the vision and the goal of the project you are working on, right? So each sprint allows you to deliver working software, gather feedback, and refine your approach for the next sprint. So this iterative approach fosters flexibility and responsiveness to changing needs, making it ideal for projects with uncertain requirements or dynamic environments. Please, are we all following?
Yes.
All right. So in Scrum, we have some basic roles. We have the Scrum Master role, we have the Product Owner role, and we have the Development team. And Scrum has some artifacts. I'll be going deep into the artifacts from tomorrow. So we have the daily Scrum. Some call it daily stand-up, like we just had this morning, where we come together and discuss, okay, evaluate ourselves. And this meeting is for the Scrum team. And the Scrum team comprises of the Scrum Master, the Product Owner, and the Development team. All right, so we ask ourselves, what did we work on yesterday? What are we working on today? And what challenges do we face? So if any team member needs help, they will speak up. And after the daily stand-up, we help the Scrum Master. We ensure that Scrum team gets the necessary help. If there is an impediment, the Scrum Master ensures that it resolves the problem and takes away the impediment, just to ensure that the team is progressing towards the product goal and the sprint goal. They are achieving their goal for the sprint. Okay, so for the roles in Scrum, like I said, we have the Scrum Master. So the Scrum Master facilitates the Scrum process, removing obstacles and ensuring smooth execution, like I just explained. So we have the Product Owner. So the Product Owner represents the stakeholders, prioritizing the product backlog and driving value delivery. So I want to believe you know what product backlog is now, but in case you don't know, remember you created an account on Jira and you were asked to create some epics and user stories. So all of that, the combination of it is your product backlog, the user stories that have specific action to take, and the acceptance criteria for that action that is required. So we ask you to create some user stories because we are working on that product from the perspective of the user. All right, so our intention is to add value to the user, to give the user value. So the user story usually has a format, like, okay, a persona, the need that persona has, and then the benefits, and then you now create your acceptance criteria too. Don't worry, we are going to have a practical session on that and you can see what I mean. So your product backlog items is managed by the product owner. So the product owner, his job is to maximize value for the Scrum team's work, right? So he also is in charge of that product backlog. Whatever decision he makes on that product backlog is the final decision. So he works in collaboration with the development team to ensure that everything is working fine, and the development team is working towards achieving the sprint goal and the product goal. Okay, so development team, it includes the people coding, right, testers and all of that. So the development team is self-organizing, and they deliver their work with minimal supervision. They know what to do, they have the right set of skills to accomplish the goal for the product. So right here we say the development team self-organizes to deliver the work, developing and testing software increments. So when you hear increments, you are talking about features, functionalities that can be potentially released to the end user. Okay, so think of the Scrum role as a collaborative trio. The Scrum Master acts as the coach, guiding the team and process. Then the product owner sets the vision and priorities, ensuring the team delivers the right thing, and the development team is the art of Scrum. They bring the ideas to life. So in the context of GTS, I could say that Sir is the product owner, right? Then I am the Scrum Master. Then all of you are the development team. Please, I hope that explanation is clear.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So I'm going in depth into the individual's role. So for the Scrum Master's role, it facilitates Scrum ceremonies. So there are, like I said, we have artifacts, we have ceremonies, we have events in Scrum. So sprint planning, don't worry, you get to know this more in other sessions. So we have the sprint planning, the daily Scrum. You are familiar with daily Scrum. So the sprint review and the sprint retrospective. So these are the ceremonies in Scrum. They are already used to the daily Scrum. With time, we will start with the sprint planning, and we go into sprint review and sprint retrospective. Then you can have a deeper knowledge of what all of these ceremonies aim to achieve, right? So the Scrum Master removes impediments for the development team. So he or she ensures the team understands and follows Scrum principles. So it coaches the team on continuous improvement. So the Scrum Master is like the conductor of an orchestra, ensuring everyone plays their part in harmony. They empower the team to self-organize, remove roadblocks, and guide them through the Scrum process. By fostering transparency and collaboration, the Scrum Master sets the stage for a successful sprint. So the Scrum Master is a very vital role in Scrum. Okay, let's proceed. So for the product owner owns the product vision and roadmap. It prioritizes the product backlog with the most valuable items. Remember I said product backlog, your user stories, your epics, and all of those. So it collaborates with stakeholders and the development team, and he accepts or rejects delivered work during the sprint review. Now the product owner is the voice of the customer and stakeholders. It translates their needs into a clear vision and prioritize the backlog accordingly. So by actively engaging with the development team and providing feedback, the product owner ensures the team delivers the highest value features first. So it's about value for the product owner, not just ceremonies, not just the work you are doing. Your work must produce value for the end user, for the customer, and for the stakeholders. So that is the job of the product owner. All right, we'll get to know more about the product owner in subsequent sessions. So let's proceed. Sorry. So the development team, I've spoken about the Scrum Master, the product owner. Now to the development team. So the development team self-organizes to deliver the sprint backlog. So there's also something we call sprint backlog. You get to know more about that. So the development team estimates the work and commits to a sprint goal. So they are the ones to say, okay, for this particular user story, it will take so amount of time, or it will require so amount of effort to accomplish it. So they estimate the work and commit to a sprint goal. So the development team is in charge of the sprint backlog. Okay, so the development team also develops and tests the software increments. So the manual tester, the front end developer, back end developer, all of you, the code review, whatever role you are, you fall into development team. So you participate in all Scrum ceremonies. There is with no exception. The daily Scrum is required for you. The sprint planning is required for you. The retrospective and the sprint review, they are all required for you to participate in. So the development team is the engine of Scrum. They are responsible for turning ideas into reality. So they work collaboratively, leveraging their skills and expertise to deliver high quality software within the sprint time frame. So through self-organization and communication, the development team takes ownership and drives project success. So the development team is a very key aspect of Scrum. They are the ones that build the right thing. All right. So without the development team, there is no Scrum. They are self-managing and they work in collaboration with um, the other members of the team. So I'll move on to the next. Oh, okay. Okay. In conclusion, Scrum provides a framework for collaborative, iterative, and adaptive project delivery. All right. By understanding the roles and responsibilities, you can leverage Scrum's strengths to achieve greater agility, transparency, and value. So remember, Scrum is a journey, not a destination. Embrace continuous learning, experimentation, and adaptation to make the most of this powerful framework. So Scrum is more than just a framework, it is a mindset. Same way Agile is a mindset. So in subsequent sessions, we'll go deeper into sprint planning, what does it entail, what is required of you, and all of that in the next sessions. All right, thank you so much. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask your questions.
No, thanks.
Okay, anybody with question? No question. Okay, so in the absence of question, can I ask somebody, what do you understand by Scrum? Pavitra.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Ma'am, yesterday I have done, ma'am, how to deploy a web app in AWS Amplify. Today I have to prepare another topic, ma'am.
Okay, so the question is, I just finished on the Scrum presentation and I wanted to know if you were following. What do you understand by Scrum from the little presentation we had this morning? Are you there? Or are you just joining in? Pavitra,
Ah, yes, ma'am.
did you just join?
Ah, yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's fine. Ramya?
Yes, Christina. So, Scrum is an framework in a agile framework. So it interactive and incremental process where uh, it makes sure the work is done smoothly
It will collects the feedback from the previous sprints and so facilitates how the process and removes obstacles and ensure the execution is smoothly handled. This is what I understood.
Thank you so
Was
much.
I right?
Thank you
Was
so
I
much.
right?
Yeah. I said thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So at your leisure time, you can still read about Scrum. You can get information online. You can check YouTube. You can use Google. Just what is Scrum? Have an in-depth knowledge of Scrum. But what I gave you this morning is like a summary. There is more to learn in Scrum, and with time, we get familiar with this framework, and we are going to be using it in the course of this trainings and internship. All right. Thank you so much, sir. I think I'm done now with my presentation. Sir,
Yes, Christian.
yes, I'm through with my presentation.
Okay, sir. Yeah. All right. So, actually, I'm busy in another meeting, so I'll not be able to catch up with you. So, let me ping you after some time.
Okay, sir.
Sure.
All right, thank you. All right, team. Thank you for your time. You can continue with your work.
Okay. Sir, shall we move on with the next work?
Okay, let me 1 minute.